students, welcome back to our channel Day Study Shed, and in today's video we'll be discussing the last part to the chapter which we have been studying in physics, which is sound. So if you haven't checked out the previous videos, I have given the link in the description box. Do make sure to check those videos out because you will find it confusing if you don't go through those videos. And before starting, I would like you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and like, share and comment. So let's get started. So yes, we had been learning that sound travels in waves, not in straight lines but in curved lines, and it travels in a medium and cannot travel in vacuum because vacuum has no medium or no materialistic thing through which it can travel. So this is a recap, kind of a two-sentence small way you can say to recap what we had learned previously, that it requires a medium to travel and it travels in longitudinal waves. I had placed this image in my previous video. See, the longitudinal waves traveling once vibration, second vibration, third vibration, and it goes on till it reaches our ear canal. Again, inside our ear, it is two vibrations through which the sound goes to our brains where we can interpret. So these are the wave which we had seen or learned in our previous video. See, this is the compression and rarefaction. This symbol which you are seeing here is actually called the lambda. Lambda denotes the wavelength or the length of one crest and trough of a wave. This is the frequency, this height, the maximum height reached by a wave is actually called the amplitude. So this defines the loudness, how loud a sound could be. Frequency defines pitch. So these are the things which we'll be studying. So sound travels faster in a hot medium. It is much faster in solid than in liquid or gas. It also travels faster at sea level where air pressure is higher. Now this is like three lines which summarizes few of your application based questions which might come in your exam. So if they say that if there is a solid and a liquid given in front of you and two sounds are produced, where will the sound reach first? This could be a question. So obviously our second line says that in solid it will travel faster, so we get the answer. Second, we can say that in a hot room the sound has been produced, and in a cold room, which room will produce the sound faster? So obviously the hot one, because the temperature, whenever it is high, the sound will travel fast. And the second one is obviously, if you say if once a sound is produced in a river and a sea, where will it travel faster? Sea level, higher, because air pressure is high. Whenever you go down, whenever there is the scuba divers, when they go down beneath the water, there is a lot of air pressure. It even affects your eardrums, they say. So, there's a lot of pressure, so obviously the sound will travel fast at that pressure. So, yes. What we were talking about, frequency, amplitude and tone, these are the characteristics or the parameters through which human can characterize different sound or differentiate between two sounds. Two sounds, whenever they are produced or we can hear two sounds, we somehow come to know that one sound is a bit shrill, one sound is a bit dull. So how do we come to know? These are natural God-gifted elements which we have, but they are based on few of the principles, a few of basic characters. So they are frequency, amplitude and tone. See, sound produced by means of has characteristics like loudness, pitch or shrillness and quality. Quality can also be called timbre. Now you can mention quality or timbre, but whenever you mention timbre, you have to mention quality side by side. Okay, the loudness of the sound is the measure of the sound energy reaching our ear per second. Pitch is the brain's interpretation of frequency of an emitted sound. Now, we come to know whenever we hear a man's voice, we know that it is a man's voice or we know it's a girl's voice. So how do we come to know? Our brain can interpret that the voice is shrill or a bit grave or it's kind of dull a sound is. So this is pitch which is determining this. So tone is the measure of the sound quality, of the sound wave, which we are speaking about quality or timbre. Now, the waveform is a lot dependent on the tone. So just like a violin makes a wave, the guitar won't make the same wave. Or when a noise makes a wave is different than a music making a wave. So the tone or the sound wave depends on the different sounds produced, and it is based on the quality of the sound wave. The quality of sound wave is the characteristics which helps us to distinguish two sounds of same loudness and same pitch. Now, if there could be a case where there is same sound, same loudness, same pitch, but the waveform, creates a difference between the two of them. Obviously, whenever there are two sounds being played of the same volume, same pitch, same frequency, there has to be something which will differentiate the two sounds. So this is the parameter through which we can differentiate the almost similar kind of two sounds with one character. And amplitude, obviously, as we had discussed, amplitude determines the loudness. It is dependent on loudness, is like dependent on amplitude squared. This is the relation. So I've brought loudness. It is a property by virtue of which loud sound can be distinguished from a faint one, both having the same pitch and frequency. Obviously, loudness is expressed in decibel. We know that above the 80 decibel, it's painful for the ears to take in. So these two waves, one has a higher amplitude and the second has a lower amplitude. It's very, whenever you see a wave, you will understand, because see, this one has a higher maximum and this has a lower maximum. So whenever there's a higher maximum, the sound is loud. So obviously sound A or the wave A is louder than wave B. Second is the intensity. The amount of sound energy passing each sound or each second through a unit area is called intensity of sound. Okay, this is a definition. You don't have to understand much through it. It's like whenever through a second, whenever in a unit area the sound is traveling or passing in each second, that is called intensity of a sound. Second is comes a pitch. Intensity is not that important at this level, but pitch is very important. So, first you have to learn the definition of pitch. Pitch is that characteristics of sound by which an acute note can be distinguished from a grave or a flat note. It is not the same as frequency. It refers to sensation as perceived by listener. Now see the two waveforms. Whenever you try to imagine a sound through waveforms, half the work is done for this chapter. Look at this. This is a cello. It has a frequency like this. Whereas a violin, which is smaller in shape, has a more frequency. See, the waves are more frequent or happening in more number of times than the first one. So obviously, whenever there is more frequency, it has a higher pitch. Whenever there is a low frequency, it has a lower pitch. We have highlighted these: lower pitch, lower frequency, higher pitch, higher frequency. Very easy to remember. The second comes, now we come to the quality or the timbre. The quality or timbre of the sound is that characteristics which enables us to distinguish one sound from another, having the same pitch and loudness, but emitted by two different instruments. Look at this. This is a note, or like a guitar being played or a harmonium being played. Look at the wave, very smooth. Whereas a noise, whenever it's creating a wave, it is like a hodgepodge situation, not very regular. It has different kind of wave patterns happening at different interval of time. It has no regularity. Look at this wave. This is very regular wave happening and smooth, but this is not smooth. These are irregular waves. Obviously, irregular waves will produce irregular sound. So, thus it creates a noise or something what we could call a noise pollution. Like, it is not very pleasing to the ear, whereas the note is very pleasing to the ear. Loudness and intensity. So we might get confused, or you might get confused what loudness and intensity are considered to be same. No. Make sure you don't confuse yourself with loudness and intensity. See, loudness is the measure of the response of the ear to the sound. When a sound is produced, What our ear interprets or considers is called loudness. Even when two sounds are equal intensity, we may hear one as loud and one as simply our ear cannot detect. This completely depends on the sound or the waves or the medium or whatever you would say. So loudness is very subjective thing, whereas intensity is a measurable quantity. Just like an ultrasonic sound, whenever it is produced, whenever the frequency is below 20 hertz, we cannot hear it, but it might have the same loudness as a normal sound above 20 hertz. Whenever a leaf falls from a tree, we might not hear it, but an animal can. This depends on the audible range of a animal being or a human being. Audible range differs from every species in the earth. So like a cat can listen to sounds which are lower than 20 hertz, but a human cannot. Human audible range is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So the loudness and intensity is completely two different aspects. This equation might be written in your book, but not that important. But you can give it a look, where L is the loudness, intensity, and K is the constant of proportionality. Now, this is the factors of loudness of sound. Whenever if you are asked about questions like what are the factors on which loudness depends on, these are the factors you have to mention. These differs from different situations, different bodies, but all of these are the ones which basically the ones which are usually asked, or which are usually the most common parameters. Like loudness is amplitude square. This is the most common one. You might be given a ratio 1:3. What would be the loudness? It would be like 1:9. That kind of a situation. Similarly, here loudness is depending on 1 by distance inverse. See, 1 by distance square. So it's like distance inverse square. Loudness depends on the surface area of a vibrating body. This is very common because look at this. Loudness, surface area. We are talking about a drum, a bass drum and a normal tabla. Obviously both have different kind of sound being formed. So obviously the tabla will have not as loud as a sound as the drum. So surface area is obviously depending, or a parameter on which loudness depends on. Next is vibrating area, louder sound. Larger the vibrating area, louder the sound heard. It's like connected these 2 points. The drum will have a louder sound and the tabla will have a less loud sound. So this is what we are talking about, the area. Now loudness depends on the density of the medium. This you don't have to understand much, but obviously whenever there is a density, or think if the same sound being produced in air and a solid, obviously the solid will pass a lot of sound in a louder way than the air, because in air a lot of amount of sound gets mixed up or gets removed. A lot of energy is just used up, so the solid will produce a larger sound than the normal liquid gas. So obviously density, solid, liquid, gas, you can interpret now. So more the density of the medium, more is the loudness. Loudness also depends on the presence of resonant bodies. This is actually what we spoke about in our previous video. We spoke about the resonance, or the two bodies producing a louder sound. This is what we are talking about. The presence of the resonant bodies near the vibrating bodies increases the sound. Now, factors affecting the quality of a musical sound. Obviously, we know that the quality of musical sound depends on the waveform, just we had said. the quality of musical sound depends on number of subsidiary notes and the relative amplitudes present alongside the principal note. Now, waveform is obviously, we spoke about the noise and the music. So the quality of musical sound depends on the number of subsidiary notes, or like if a waveform is very regular, it will produce a better quality of a sound. If the waveform is not regular or it's an irregular pattern, it will produce a bad quality sound. So with this, we come to the end of the video. I hope you have understood the chapter. This is the last part of the chapter. I'll try to produce a question answer session for this chapter. Till then, I would like you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you share it with your friends. Till then, keep learning.